YouTube is loading, YouTube is slow, YouTube is racist. I mean, they're all racist, so no, we're gonna get deplatformed. We are live now.
Hello. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Berkeley Poetry Slam's Black Artist Showcase and Fundraiser. My name is Reggie, and I will be your host for tonight. We got a great lineup of poets and artists tonight, as well as an amazing feature and a dope organization that we are fundraising for. But before we begin, I gotta lay down a few ground rules first. For you sitting at home, y'all got rules. I know, like, you sitting at your house, but you're also in my house, and in my house we have rules. And the first one is to share, to like, share, and subscribe to our multiple platforms, Instagram and Twitter at Berkeley Slam and Facebook at the Berkeley Poetry Slam. You can also follow us and subscribe to our YouTube page, Bay Poets Unite. Um, all of your engagement, all of your support means a lot to the visibility of the poets that you'll be seeing tonight and other nights. So the more you share, the more you like, the more you subscribe, the more that these people can get seen. Second, speaking of people, this is normally like in person, like I could usually see you, see me, see you, see me, seeing you, seeing us together. But that's not the truth for Zoom. So you have to give 110% love in the comment section so we know that you're fucking with us. So if you hear something that you like, write a comment, give a like, give a heart, like you see somebody who you want to be your boo, maybe give a kissy face. I don't know. Um, but yeah, give maximum love to every single person who touches this stage tonight. I don't know about the rest of these artists, but I personally go back and look at the live stream and see what people commented, because it just makes me joyful to see how much y'all love and support the people that come up onto this virtual mic. So definitely show your love and support. And then also, this is a fundraiser for the Anti-Police Terror Project. It is a local organization that is Black-led, multiracial, intergenerational coalition that seeks to build a replicable and sustainable model to eradicate police terror in communities of color. They support families surviving police terror in their fight for justice, documenting police abuses, and connecting impacted families and community members with resources, legal referrals, and opportunities for healing. It's really important that we, especially within a Black Lives anti-police brutality, anti-police terror movement, that we support the organizations that are not only doing the work now, but have been doing the work for years. The frameworks, the language, it has been here. It was created by these people, these organizations that have been doing this work. This is not a trend. This is a movement. And in order for us to continue this movement, it needs to be properly staffed, it needs to be properly funded, it needs to be properly supported. So you can donate to this fundraiser by hitting us through Venmo at Rich Oak Slam, or through PayPal, paypal.me/Berkeley Slam. All of your proceeds tonight go directly to the Anti-Police Terror Project. But it's not enough just to donate to organizations. There are a bunch of Black individuals that will be coming up to this showcase tonight to share with you their art, their heart, and their souls. And it is important that we compensate them for that too. So I'm going to be plugging people's Venmos, Cash Apps, PayPals, whatever they have to pay them. And you, as an audience and a supportive member of the community, are going to exercise community care and mutual support by donating to individual artists as well as our sponsored organization tonight. So those are the rules. Lit. So we have a great list for us tonight. We have Summer, then Lady Breon, then Lois. Then we have our feature Samuel. Then we have Ashia, and then we have Prophet. Lit. So we are going to hop right into it. On deck, we have Lady Breon, but give maximum love to the first artist coming up in this showcase tonight. Give it up for Summer.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. I am Summer. It is 11 p.m. where I am right now. And I am so thankful to be a part of tonight with y'all and to be raising money also for the Anti-Police Terror Project, which y'all should all donate to, and to be a part of this space with these wonderful artists who y'all should also, give to them if you have the means to. Tonight, I'm gonna share with y'all a poem, a piece that was recently posted on YouTube on Button Poetry. It's a piece that's really important to me, and I think it's always relevant. I wrote it well before this moment, or this, before this before Black lives essentially became suddenly important to a mass amount of folks that weren't thinking about us before. And this poem is called Reparations. So without further ado, I'm gonna just jump into it. It's pretty animated. I think it's the only poem that I'm going to do tonight, just so that I can really take my time with it, because usually I do it for slam, which means that I usually have to do it within a 3-minute window, the 10-second grace period. And so I think I'm really gonna take my time with it tonight and just, share it with y'all. So we get it. We did a bad thing. We killed millions of people, permanently altered the trajectory of their lineage, exploited their bodies to the fullest extent of survival, dampened their minds and stifled their capacities. We stole generations of innovation and joy and creativity. We stole life, literal life. But what can we do about it now? What's gonna fix it now? Why can't you stop talking about it now? It's like over. Like, so last season or century or whatever. I mean, like, you do have a solution to this problem we created, right? So like, go ahead. I'm waiting. What exactly do reparations look like? Well, reparations look like me going on several dates with white men and ordering the most expensive thing on the menu, while simultaneously grilling them on Black history facts and maintaining uncomfortably intense eye contact. Reparations look like reading I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings while humming A Change Is Gonna Come and feeding dog food to the Trump supporter chained up in my basement. Reparations look like swerving every fiscally conservative Republican who DMs me, even if he says he's the same party as Lincoln, especially if he says I'm the same party as Lincoln. Reparations look like never laughing at your jokes, like saying every dish you make is tasteless, even if I saw you put the whole damn spice rack in it. They look like calling you on your bullshit and clapping while I do it. Reparations look like permanently altering the trajectory of the lives of millions of people, of their lineage. They look like fostering their minds and expanding their capacities. They look like generations of innovation and joy and creativity. Reparations look like you making some type of effort beyond asking me to abracadabra you an easy solution. They look like the answer you have always been afraid of, the one you never really wanted to hear out loud. They look like a cross perpetually burning on your front lawn for every dollar your ancestors made from my ancestors' screams. Reparations look like you holding your breath for the last 3 minutes, like the uncomfortable silence that will likely follow this poem. They look like all of the words you hoped I would never learn to read. They look like a block party in a gated neighborhood with perpetually burning crosses as far as the eye can see, and a deflated moon bounce, and tasteless potato salad that I saw you dump the whole damn spice rack into. Reparations look like me still standing in the wake of your destruction. Look like not having to answer this question just because it conveniences you. Reparations look like the least you could do. They look like the least you can fucking do. Thanks, you guys. That's my poem.
Thank you. I'm so glad we started off this fundraiser with a poem about reparations and how it's not that we're asking for reparations. It's that we're owed reparations. It's that this is the natural progression of building an economy based on slave labor of African people, that you pay those people eventually. That just seems right. So speaking of paying people, Summer, how can people support you?
I think, yeah, I have a website. It's Summer Rain. My twin sister is actually right over there, and her middle name is Ray. So we kind of combined our names for me, really, as an artist.
Wait, you have a twin?
Yeah, I have a twin sister, but we're very fraternal.
I am a twin.
Oh, do you?
Yes.
Do you have a twin?
I have an identical twin.
That's awesome. Yeah. No, I think sometimes we wish, because we could have played more pranks. I don't know, got away with more. We didn't get away with
nothing. It just means you both get your ass beat for not snitching, because they saw one of you do it and you both look the same.
That makes sense. You know what? That makes sense. We, yeah, I don't know. We kind of joke like sometimes we'd be fluent in 3 languages by now, because I took French and she took Spanish, and we could just like write it on our resumes and just like switch out. But we never did that. And we're fraternal, so. But I don't know. I think going on my website, which is Summer Rain, Summer, and then AEN at the end, all to spell like Summer Rain. And then it's just summerrain.com. Also on YouTube, if you look up my full legal name, Summer Durant, like Kevin Durant, Durant, and then Summer, just like the season. Yeah, watching my videos. You can also reach out to me if you have any events or performances in mind for poetry like mine. I'm mixed. I'm half Indian and half Black, but I identify heavily with my Black side because I grew up in DC, Chocolate City, with my Black family. And so I write a lot about being a Black woman, and then a lot about that sort of intersection, and how we're presenting one way and sort of identifying another way sort of comes to a head for me, and the intersections of my personal identity. So yeah, I think just those things would be really great. I also have a Venmo. It's Summer-Durant if you want to donate anything. But yeah, that's all I have. Thank you for asking.
Thank you. So you can support Summer on her website, summerrain.com. Lit.
Yep.
As well as through Venmo, on Button Poetry, or just simply like, following on social media. You should do all of those things.
All of my social media is also Summer Rain, Summer AEN.
Lit. Summer AEN. Thank you so much, Summer. What a way to kick off our night. So in the spirit of reparations, I'm going to just remind you that this is a fundraiser for the Anti-Police Terror Project, doing amazing anti-police brutality work, has been doing it since before it was cool, before it was cute, here in the Bay Area. You can make your donations via Venmo at Rich Oak Slam, or via PayPal, paypal.me/Berkeley Slam. We are trying to raise $1,000 tonight. We have raised $120 so far. I'm gonna make a challenge. By the time we get to our feature, let's try to have at least one person drop $100. I'm challenging somebody to drop $100. I know in the Bay Area, that's about an ounce of weed. Donate an ounce of weed to ending police brutality so you don't get your ass beat for having that ounce of weed. Makes sense to me. So on deck, we have Lois, but give maximum love to the next poet coming up to the showcase. Give it up for Lady Breon.
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure. I got kicked off twice, so hopefully this lasts through this whole little 5-minute set. All right, so I'm gonna start with this first poem called Have Been Folding, Bleaching My Language. I open my mouth, uprising, sample with the muddy roots of trade and migration, battling nations in my diaphragm. So the rhythm in my diction sounds like a war cry. And despite the white stuffed down my windpipe, I talk black with nappy phonics, syllables that kink and twist, naughty expression that beads on my palate, so glow in this spit shine flow, Jerry curl jogging, bongo drums in my diction. This slang is semantic resistance, off with the head of the King's English. Can't you smell the riot on my breath? Char in my esophagus, my laugh is arsenic. And ain't enough opiates in this elementary education to hook me on phonics or gentrify the djembe out of my pronunciation. Love the taste of this cornbread accent. Sugar cane slang my tongue is. Motherland, mama of civilization. Birth of every nation. Scat, boom, bat, hi-hat, jazz sax. There is music in my melanin and I be talking hella black. With a neck roll to articulate my tone. Conversations get you high as my cheekbones and lingo by lush as these hips done grown. Thick thighs and deep fried vernacular. Hand motions and sound effects. Hieroglyphics hidden in my messages. My breath is the building of the pyramids on repeat. I'm like a Negro spiritual sampled over a trap beat. There is a black anthem inside my belly, so I will always lift every voice and speak. So that's the first poem. I'm gonna do one more. Shout out to the anti-police terror movement. I hope I got that right. Y'all make sure that y'all support. This next poem is actually about mass incarceration. And so I'll just jump right into it. It's entitled Land of the Free. Freedom, freedom, I can't move. Freedom, cut me loose, yeah. Freedom, freedom, where are you? 'Cause I need freedom too. And I break chains all by myself. Won't let my freedom ride in hell. Hey, I'ma keep running 'cause the winner don't quit on themselves. Welcome to the land of the free, where bondage is big business. The United States of America has the largest prison population in the world, and many still can't see the correlation between the plantation and the penitentiary. Like they ain't say slavery was abolished in all jurisdictions except in prison, they call it an industrial complex, meaning many connected parts all working to produce goods, and there are companies making billions off of prisons. For instance, Victoria got hella secrets. Her bras stitched with wires by boys that got picked up because the snitches wearing wires. And I'm sure if Shorty's in here right now walking around in her privatized prison panties, Microsoft got cellmates crunching numbers and crafting keyboards. Bank of America also got bars around America. Even Toys R Us got their hands in detention centers. It's like Fisher Price got a price tag on my niggas, and it figures since there is a pipeline. Third grade test scores are used to determine the number of prison beds and turn prisoners make college beds when you're sitting at your desk. Correctional. It's righting the wrongs of the South, losing that war, and ensuring free labor never goes bankrupt. Stamped by lives, stop signed by the justice. Criminals or commodities. You charge with mine with active babies just hanging in the balance. But we procreate, they incarcerate, but prisons will not rehabilitate because that's a bad business model. Recidivism increases profits and dividends. Just check the receipts. This is the land of the free, or rather, the land of dollars and cents, where taking away freedom will always be a more worthwhile investment. Thank you.
Thank you, Breon. How can we support you?
Yeah, so my social media is my handle on here. So
oh no, you were cutting in and out, but
Lady B Speaks on Instagram, Facebook,
right.
poetry album. We could talk Frozen.
You like got frozen right before you talked about your social media, but like I could see it there. Your Instagram is at Lady B Speaks, and
Yes.
your Cash App is #, Lady Breon. But I also might have heard something about a poetry album.
Yes, I have a poetry book and 2 poetry albums. My latest one is called With My Head Unbowed. It is a dual project that has both a book and an album, different work on each. They share 6 poems. It actually was my thesis project for my MFA. On social media down, Lord, let's not talk about it. But DM me and we can get you a book or album.
Lit. So you did cut in and out, but what I caught from it was you got a book and 2 albums. One of those albums is a dual project, and we can get it on Amazon, or we could DM you and get a copy. Lit. Oh my goodness. I hate technology.
Yes.
Technology hates Black people. I'm just gonna go out there and say it. Technology does not like Black people. And that is a damn shame. Because I think we're really fucking lit, if you ask me. And you know, I don't know why they don't want us on the internet. But thank you so much for coming out. Please support Lady Breon, and keep those donations coming in. Don't wait for somebody else to donate for you. Don't like not donate because you think waiting is cute. I'm gonna be honest, like this movement can't wait. These issues can't wait. It's imperative that we give now, that we give now, because there might not be a later. Two, there might not be a later. Like, you know, like we're living in the middle of a pandemic. You know, Black people are dying every day. You know, I don't know how to stress the urgency of it, except for to say the last time I checked this statistic, which was 2 years ago, so I'm probably wrong. It's probably gone up at this point. But every 28 hours, an unarmed Black person is shot and killed by a cop or a racist vigilante. Your later is somebody else's death sentence. It is important, it is imperative that we support the organizations that are doing the groundwork necessary to save our fucking children. I don't know how else to say that other than, you know, it's important to save our kids, save our adults, you know, like really, like we need to live, if we're going to live in a world with police, we need to live in a world where Black people don't have to worry about walking outside and getting shot, or staying inside or getting shot, or laying in bed and getting shot, or going to this corner store for some snacks and getting shot. Like, it's ridiculous. So an organization like Anti-Police Terror Project that directly tackles the issue of racist and violent policing practices within our communities and is directly organizing direct action against that, both legislative, both community, both legal actions. Like, it would be insane not to support an organization. We cannot say Black Lives Matter and then not support the organizations that are making it so. So I challenge each and every single person to donate, even if it's something as little as $5. Your $5 is more than your lack of then you donating $5 is going to add more than you not donating $5. And shout out to a couple of our donors, Mike Ting donating $50 and Cordell Wesselink for donating $100. I knew we could do it, get $100 donation before our feature. Shout out to y'all, but keep those donations in. Who's going to match that $100 donation? I think we can do it. I really can. Nice. So we're sitting at $245. We just got $800 to go. I think we can do it. I personally think we can do it. So on deck, we have our feature, Samuel, but give maximum love to our next person coming up to the showcase. Give it up for Lois.
Hi, everyone. Thank y'all so much for joining in and for donating and supporting this incredible cause. Shout out to both the poets that came before me. There's a line that really is like sitting in my soul right now. My laugh is arsenic. Come on now, let's go. Shout out to that. Shout out to Lady Brianna. Shout out to Summer. I'm really, really stoked to be a part of this incredible lineup of artists. I'm gonna read a couple of poems for y'all, and a little bit of context for this first one. I am based out in Houston, Texas, so I'm out in the South. And when y'all come through to Texas, there is an incredible special place everybody gotta go. It is a grocery store. It is called HEB. It is where everybody and their mama goes to get life, you know what I'm saying? Like where they go to rejuvenate, you know what I'm saying? To get necessities, you know what I'm saying? So it's a very special place for me personally. Yeah, that is pretty much all the context you'll need. This piece is called Shopping While Black. If HEB is sanctuary, then those low, low prices are scripture. Amen. Today, I have a coupon in one hand and a praise in another, and all my Black girl magic is making ceremony out of this. Amen. Today, a white woman with a bedazzled cross around her neck, and I can't make this shit up, by the way, spoke with all the deep antebellum South and enough evangelical grit to muffle my holy. Her words reached across aisles to cut the thick of my fellowship and interrupt my holy. Her words as certain as Solomon's proverbs, able to tear a heart of flesh into two in the name of a living God. She fixed her breath to say to me, I thought you were doing gang signs. And I guess it's funny when white tongues paint my skin savage and remind me the God in my limbs was not birthed to celebrate bargains, let alone conduct the heavens. The only thing I can think of is shopping metaphors, like this life is too taxing, or a mother cleans up her daughter's body on aisle 9, or maybe in the next life, I'll become the finest topsoil and blossom into produce. Or I see ghosts in this warehouse. Or can one order caskets online? Or funerals are very expensive. In addition to being, to living right now in the South, I am also an immigrant. I'm from Tanzania originally, and there's a whole history of colonization in my country, and all of that very much is in conversation with the prison industrial complex. At least the way in which colonization currently exists, neocolonialism, the way it exists is very much in conversation with the prison industrial complex. So if ever anybody tries to tell you that a lot of these issues that we're fighting here are not connected to the rest of the world, tell them to simmer down. And I would like to bring that complexity into today's show. So if this resonates with you, please go ahead and donate to the fundraiser to help fight a lot of that violence here. The context that you might need for this poem is there was a lot of notable human beings who spearheaded a lot of heinous acts on the continent. One of them being Leopold, King Leopold from Belgium, and Cecil Rhodes in South Africa. And I mean, Winston Churchill in India, but also very much in East Africa, because that's where the British were at. And so if you hear those names, please, if you don't know them, definitely look them up. And again, if this resonates with you, please donate. This piece is called In Memory of Royal Murderers. I have been dreaming about the death of famous colonizers lately. I've been literally, not figuratively, literally laughing out loud at the thought of King Leopold of Belgium choking on his own vomit the very first day he steps foot on the Congo. Or how Cecil Rhodes dies while taking a shit after eating a rotten mango. Or Winston Churchill falling down the stairs of the Buckingham Palace. And mind you, the acoustics in that bitch are good. After the sound of his own very aggressive fart echoing through that palace. Then I would think, no, even the accidental deaths, though they rattle my little frame with mirth, are too merciful. Leopold should have choked on every limb he commanded severed. Imagine 1 million bald fists amputated, lodged inside his throat, hungry fingers chipping and cutting as they try to claw their way out his trachea. Rhodes should have been trampled, crushed by the very land he tried to pillage. Imagine the Ndembele people summoning a magic to their feet that when they first saw the British approaching. See how their dance would shake and split open the earth and sky. The dirt swallowing Cecil whole and at once grinding him with diamond teeth. Now Churchill should have died a very loud death. In an attempt to abscond, the knight would refuse to hide him and his army. The Mau Mau would find him forsaken and sound every horn. They would parade his shame across the fields before unraveling his pallid skin among the trees. His blood alone would have quenched the land's thirst for any flesh or blood for the next millennia. You see, I spend hours thinking about this. Hours. I imagine every detail. The smell of dry blood on freshly tilled soil, the chirping of crickets interrupted by the sound of gagging, the snapping of bone and fiber. I am obsessed and satisfied until I realize that this language of violence that I revel in is not my own. Even now, an ocean away from home, I still speak in an old savage cadence, learned from the very strangers who came with guns, with whips, and a merciless God. See, along with their borders, their baptismal names, their churches, I inherited this language too. I'm constantly revisiting this piece as I am learning about abolitionist practice, because I think abolition is forcing us to truly reckon with our obsession with punishment, our obsession with violence as a form of justice, and how all the marginalization and oppression that we have experienced has really stifled our imagination of what is truly possible. And And so I offer that to you all, and I hope it rests in your heart as you all are thinking through all these different organizations that are working very hard to dismantle just generations of oppression. And I leave you with the one last one, if that is okay. Am I still on time? Just a quick little like thumbs up. Excellent. I leave you with one more. This one is called Politics at God's Funeral, and I hate how less ironic the language in this piece becomes every single year. But 2020 is especially rough. So Politics at God's Funeral, the chorus. These are the parables taught at the tables of self-proclaimed prophets and messiahs. 1, blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the American dream. 2, blessed are those who mourn, for their children will inherit the same cry. 3, blessed are the meek, for they will inherit nothing, and nothing so big they will pray to it. 4, blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will feast on other souls. 5, blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown judgment by a group of their peers. 6, blessed are the pure in heart, for they will never see our evils. 7, blessed are the peacemakers, for they will kill in the name of God. 8, blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness, for their blood will stain pretty, but will eventually dry up and begin to smell forgotten. Politics at God's Funeral, the refrain. And maybe the Lord said, show me your nasty women and I will show you my image. I will show you Black women mistaken for a bark. Or maybe the Lord said, show me your water protectors and I will show you your saviors, and your obsession with crucifixion and how the pierced side of something holy bleeds crude oil, welcoming the Sabbath, signaling the end. Or maybe the Lord said, show me your American dream and I will show you a myth. Show me your white Jesus and I will show you a myth. Look at your mountains of things built on shifting sand, following oppression to a narrow tune. Or maybe the Lord said, show me your songs about joy and your psalms about love, and I will show you why I haven't swallowed the earth yet. Thank y'all so much. And thank you for having me, Berkeley Slam. Shout out to y'all.
Anytime. Thank you, Lois. Where can we support you? How can we support you?
My Venmo is Lois-Gayo. It's right here. Y'all can find me on the interwebs. I'm on IG. Come through. But perhaps most importantly, if you really believe in my work, if you really believe in my life mattering, go ahead and support the Anti-Police Terror Project. Kudos to y'all for spearheading this initiative. And I love y'all so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes. Hit up Lois and her Cash App and her Venmo. Definitely continue to send those donations in for the Anti-Police Terror Project. We still going. We have a long night. We still have a lot more poetry and art to present to y'all tonight, so there is still plenty of time. But we are at our, someone said they need a stern talking to. Okay, let me just, that was nice, Reggie. But stern talking to Reggie has been requested, so let me just, all right, so boom. We're still at $245. We have a $1,000 goal. I'm not going to say that I'm angry, but I am just slightly disappointed because I know that we can do better than this. I know we're all out here talking about Black Lives Matter this, Black Lives Matter that. We're all talking about reparations this, reparations that. So it's important that when people say Black Lives Matter, that we pay for it. That when we say reparations, that we provide them. Black Lives Matter, reparations, abolish the police. These are not These are not theories. These are not, this is not your college political science class. This is the real world where real people have real needs, and where real organizations are doing the real community work to provide those needs with no real funding. It is important that if we are not the ones doing the work, that we are the ones funding the work, because our government doesn't give a damn, our cities don't give a damn, our community leaders don't give a damn. It is up to us as people to fund and to support and to put on the organizations that are doing the work that is necessary for us to continue. Because at the end of the day, we have choices. We have one of two choices. We do the work to interrupt what is going on right now, or we allow the violence to escalate until it's someone you don't want to die who dies. We have two choices. We dead this shit now, we do the work to dead this shit right now, or we let it continue to fester until you can't ignore it. And when police brutality, police violence, and anti-Blackness becomes your problem, you're not going to like it. I can promise you, as someone who faces that shit every day, you're not going to like it, and you're not built for it. So it is important that you don't wait until it happens to you. It's important that we support these initiatives. So we're gonna have a feature set. I am going to challenge 3 people during this feature set to donate $100. That is going to go a long way in supporting the Anti-Police Terror Project. Once again, the ways you can donate are to Venmo at Rich Oak Slam, as well as through PayPal, paypal.me/Berkeley Slam. All of your donations tonight are going to go right to the Anti-Police Terror Project. And with that said, we have our feature tonight. Our feature is, our feature is Samuel Getachew. I'm just gonna read his bio because it low-key fucked me up because it's like so casual, and like yet there is so many like not even small flexes, like very large flexes in like small flex language, which like really has fucked me up. It's like, how dare you be so casual about this major achievement? But this Samuel Getachew is a 17-year-old poet from Oakland, California. He served as the 2019 Oakland Youth Poet Laureate, was a 2020 National Youth Poet Laureate finalist, and is a 3-time Youth Speaks Teen Poetry Slam champion. His work has been published in the New York Times, the Washington Post, and more. Such a casual bio for somebody who was a city youth poet laureate, a national youth poet laureate finals, and is published in the New York Times. Like, I don't know if you know how much of a treat this is going to be for you. I know that I saw Samuel become the Youth Speaks Grand Slam champion in like 2017. Yeah, I was impressed then. And then like seeing you like last week during our showcase, I was like, okay, like growth. So the opportunity to see a whole set of like what you have to offer is amazing. And I am so excited to hear your poetry lit. So without further ado, I'm going to turn the stage over and everybody give maximum love to our featured poet for the night, Samuel.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for that very loving introduction. I'm very, very happy to be here. I think I'm gonna do like 5 poems for you guys. If you tuned in last week, I'm gonna just be real, you're gonna hear a poem that you heard last week. It's how it is. You know, there's certain pieces where I'm just like, this is what I'm rocking with right now. Like, this is what I feel like reading. Before I read my first piece, I just want to reiterate one more time: donate, 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 donate. Like, if you give a damn about anything that I'm about to read, donate to the Anti-Police Terror Project. And with that, I'm gonna start with this poem called Brook, which is based on my very long, very strenuous, and very strange cross-country career. I ran cross-country and track for like almost 6 years of my life. Probably should have quit after year 2. And yeah, this poem is about that. Step, breathe, step, breathe, step, breathe, step, breathe, run, 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 run. It's all you know how to do, isn't it? Can't throw or catch, can't hit a ball with a bat, can't kick a ball into a net, can't do any of the shit real men do, but you sure can run. Can't you run, run, run away on the days when the rain makes the lake swell and overflow? I remember how Akhlid wrote my name 6 years ago. Hammered the Amharic Buruku into Brook with the crudeness of English letters trying to build something they have no business attempting to shape, and I feel myself become water, become a brook, become an overflow, trying to escape something it had no business attempting to be a part of in the first place, become running water, running. Gunshot fires, running. Bodies surge at the starting line, running. A boy falls, running. We trample him, running. He gets up anyways, running. His coach yelling from the sidelines. A boy falls, and we trample him anyways, running. Nothing is more important than the race. Nothing is more important than running. On the days when the rain makes the lake swell, I remember how my body cried out, overflowed, cracked at the knees and fractured at the shins, begged me to stop running. On the days when the rain makes the lake swell, I remember how I only speak in excess, only understand how to love too much of a bad thing or too much of a good thing for the wrong reasons. I remember how my body begged me to stop, and I kept running anyways, kept running, running, running. The lake cries out, body swollen from too much of a good thing, and the rain laughs, keeps running. A boy cries out, body swollen from too much of a bad thing, but he keeps running anyway. A boy falls, and we trample him, still running because nothing is more important than the race. Nothing is more important than running. Buruku, are we still running? Thank y'all. Yeah, as I've been like reflecting on that period of my life, which was like pretty much all of like middle school, early high school for me, I keep thinking also about how the competitive like distance running world, because you know everybody knows like Black people are good at track, right? Like that's the whole thing, but the competitive distance running world is like almost entirely white. And yeah, it's just like I just remember how it shaped so much of my relationship to my body, and how like being a Black person, it's like you can't escape that, like even in sport, even in your own relationship to like doing something as natural as running. It was such like a constant for me. I had to constantly be thinking about Blackness in those spaces. Which poem do I want to do next? Okay, I think I'm gonna do this one. I'm gonna give a trigger warning for gun violence. This poem is one that I wrote a few months ago. It's called Ahmaud Arbery and Why I Refuse to Watch the Videos. If a Black man gets shot in his gated community or in his own home, or walking in a park, or during a traffic stop, or outside a corner store, or while on a jog, and no one is around to film his body hitting the ground, does he still make a sound? Does he still make the evening news? Does he still get justice? Do we still care? Does he still die? Did he ever live at all? That one was kind of short. I think I'm gonna do 6 today instead. I think there's something so almost ironic and kind of terrifying about a country that refuses to even consider justice unless it gets to watch the body die in real time. And I think that is so emblematic of the way that we treat police brutality now and the way that we circulate these videos. This next poem is a little closer to a full-length poem. You might have heard me read it before. I think, especially now that the election is approaching, it sums up a lot of my frustrations. Not all of them, nowhere near all of them, but one of the very, very big ones. This poem is called On Joe Biden and the Exceptional Negro. We've got to recognize that that kid wearing a hoodie may very well be the next poet laureate and not a gangbanger. Joe Biden on the issue of racial profiling and mass incarceration, June 2019. When I receive notice that I am a finalist for National Youth Poet Laureate, I exhale in relief. At last, my worth validated, my life quantified, my entire life I have been told I am exceptional. I am not like the others, how I am different, how thrilling. To be raised on the myth of individuality, how misleading, how egomaniacally delightful to know that when the floodwaters come, you will be saved. To walk among the sea of regular Negroes, gangbangers, hood niggas, thugs, super predators, deadbeat baby daddies, a god amongst men, a man amongst boys, a boy amongst slaves, how blessed am I to have an opportunity to prove once and for all that I deserve freedom. Prove that my wrists are too delicate for bondage, my hands too inclined for the pen. If I die, I know they will show my grade point average on the evening news. How blessed am I to have a resume worth mentioning in the headline? How blessed am I to be a viable candidate for martyrdom? How lucky am I to be able to write myself into a place on the porch, a seat under the table? How blessed to be graced with the possibility of scrounging scraps as they eat above me? How lucky, how lucky, how lucky. What time are we at? I think I'm gonna do like 2 or 3 more. Which one of these do I want to do first? I think, okay, I'm gonna do this piece that I think some of y'all may have heard me read last week. I don't, for some reason I can't remember. But this is kind of a poem. I feel weird kind of calling it a poem because I didn't write it meaning for it to be a poem. It was just like a scribble of thoughts. But I think it sort of turned into a poem. So here goes. I'm in love with the vulgarity of rap. In a world that tells me to be timid, I get to hear JT from the City Girls tell me that her pussy is so tight it could smoke a Newport. In a world that tells me to censor myself, I get to revel in the basic vices that all humans are driven by: lust, greed, ego, power, unsuppressed, unveiled, undenied. To be Black in this country is to know that they will never truly respect you regardless. A lifetime of lessons in the fallacies of respectability politics, to be so occupied with survival that there is no time left to pretend that you are anything but what you are. No time left to pretend that you don't want exactly what you want. No time left to do the dance like they do, to dress up your wounds and smile at your enemies. No time left to deny that you aren't so proper after all. When my mother asks why they have to use all those bad words, all I can do is laugh. What is profanity when you have looked death in the eye? There is nothing left to lose, and so you are simply honest. Rap is not vulgar. The truth is vulgar. The world is vulgar. Humans are vulgar. Rap is just honest. Quick plug before I do my last few pieces. Please keep donating. I'm seeing in the chat that we have 295 raised, and we are about halfway through our set. Y'all, that is not acceptable. We are trying to raise $1,000 today, so please, 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 please keep donating. This poem is called, one second. This poem is called The Crying. And for context, my family is Ethiopian. Both my parents are Ethiopian immigrants. And according to Ethiopian tradition, when someone dies, something called a lexo is held at the home of their closest relative. And the word lexo directly translates to the word crying. And it consists of 1 to several days of all of the mourners of the deceased gathering at the home to weep together and pay respects. And this poem is about kind of how that influenced my view of grief and sadness growing up. The aunts fill the air with Chanel No. 5 and sobs and whatever else was on sale at Macy's. The uncles permit a moment of emotion sanctioned here, where it is not anywhere else, where it is not visible, not public, enumerated in their very presence here. The house is a type of clean that suggests it is not always this way. The surfaces are dusted, the knickknacks and papers have been shoved into drawers. There is nothing here that is not meant to be seen. All else is concealed into neat stacks into bedrooms. At least for now, there is only room for one thing to reveal itself today. Somewhere between child and adult, there is a boy drifting in the doorway down the hall. He does not know who died. He does not understand that this is necessary. The Coca-Cola and Sprite and ginger ale and water laid out in neat rows in the kitchen, a product of his labor. Somewhere between foreigner and immigrant, there is a boy who does not know how to watch. He has never been taught how to cry, how to hold other people's pain, how to bear witness to the libation of your living ancestors. Watch as they coax the congested rage from their stomachs and spill blood on the floor. He has never seen his mother cry. He has never seen a man cry. He has never seen a man show emotion. He doesn't know the art of hiding these things, bringing them out for a few hours and then gathering yourself and leaving. Does not know the art of packing your grief into Tupperware and laying it out with the other dishes on the table, ripping out your soul from your throat and making a plate before you go. Does not understand the art of containing your pain in 3 simple hours, releasing it and continuing. Dropping the kids off at soccer practice, going back to the office, picking up groceries. On your way home, the boy learns this art soon enough. The boy learns this on the day he breaks the promise his father made to heaven. The boy learns this on the day he goes to war with his mind. The art is refined on the day he bears witness to his own sacrifice on Grand Avenue in plain sight. Cuts open his midsection from navel to chest and allows the sobs to spill onto the pavement, wipes away all evidence and is finished with the task. In 13 minutes, the art is perfected. On the day the boy calls a number promising relief and finds out that promise is a lie, the art is perfected. In the moment he learns how to grieve the death of himself. In the moment he learns how to finish grieving within the hour, wrap up all the unraveled bits of himself and move the fuck on a one-man vessel. The boy becomes so good at this that he can do it on command. The boy becomes so perfect at this that he can do it alone. The boy becomes so perfect at being alone. Thank y'all for listening. I think, how much time we got? Should I do one more? I think I can do one more. I just don't know which one to do. Let's see, I could do this one, but I feel like since I read that last week, I should do something different. All right, I'm gonna do this one just because I feel like, I don't think I've actually ever read this, or at least it has been a very long time. I happened upon this, it's kind of an older poem. I happened upon this the other day and I realized, like, you know, now it's like this big thing and it's trendy to talk about what's going on, but I've literally been writing poems about the same shit for like since I was like 13, 14. And I think that this poem, I was like reading it back and I was like, damn, like I could have written this yesterday and just swapped the names. This poem is called Dreaming. I say America and hear a bomb exploding somewhere far off and foreign enough that we can justify the death. So we can open our mouths to sing our anthem and have another nation's worth of skeletons to show off in our teeth. I say America and feel blood coating the back of my throat. Hear the eulogy of every Black boy who ever turned hashtag. Hear the name of every Black woman we ignored. Say America and feel guilt. Feel home. Hear a chorus of gunshots in the distance. Hear Trayvon's name and Tamir's and Sandra's and Malcolm's and Nia's. Hear the drums by the lake when the sun sets. Hear resilience. Feel the rumble of my mother's feet when she took her first steps on this soil. This country was not ready for all of the strength that my blood carries. Say America and hear my grandmother's sobs. Yet another child as good as dead, lost to the West. I feel my grandfather roll in his grave halfway across the world because they moved to that God-forsaken place where boys that look like his grandson die. Say America and picture a white picket fence stained with blood. Say America and picture 2.5 kids, 1 dog, a gravestone in the backyard and obituaries in the paper. Say America and hear a battle cry, hear protest, picture a football player kneeling or an arms lock procession on the Edmund Pettus Bridge. Say America and mean brave. Picture bodies bracing in a barricaded bathroom at the Pulse nightclub, or picture a boy with his hand shaking too much to dial a hotline, or say America and hear the cries of every child torn apart at the border. Hear the echo of a protest like the scream of a warrior who ain't done fighting yet. Say America and mean we aren't done fighting yet. Say America and mean that I'm tired of fighting. Say America and mean that this has been too long and too hard, and mean that I can feel the generational exhaustion from my mother's bones. Tired of worrying, tired of waiting, tired of hoping, tired of this. Say America and hear the prayers from the other room. Hear the question of when we can go back home. Say America and mean home, and hear home, and say America and mean ain't we still here, alive, dreaming. Thank you all so much for having me. Please donate to the Anti-Police Terror Project. I'm begging you, like nothing I read matters if we're not doing the concrete work to support our communities and actually create the change and protect the people that we need to protect. Thank you again to Berkeley Slam.
Thank you, thank you. And how can people support you in your work?
You can follow me on Instagram at Samuel GD. I have a website, which is samuelgetachew.com. It's kind of like, I gotta update it, but it has some of my work on there, some videos, stuff like that. My Venmo is in my little display name if you want to directly support me, but if you have the funds to do that, I highly suggest you just donate them to the Anti-Police Terror Project instead. And yeah, I tend to post like whenever I like release something new or post something new. I tend to post that on my Instagram. That's like the first place to go. So if you want to keep up with me, it's there.
Lit. Support Samuel. Thank you so much for that wonderful feature. Like, so great. Like I'm scared because you're like 17.
Yeah.
No. I'm gonna make sure I retire before you're my age. I'm legit scared to see like what you're gonna be like at like 21, 22, 23. Like
Thank you.
Legitimately about to be put out here putting people out of jobs. But that's okay. That's how it works. One generation comes up, they go, the next generation comes up, and I'm so glad. Like honestly, I'm so proud of your generation. Generation Z, like, first of all, like, I love that y'all talk shit about everyone. Like, it's boomers,
we grew up on the
millennials.
Internet.
Like, Gen X and Gen Z has this interesting relationship where they're just sitting back and watching everybody, like, tear each other apart. And it's beautiful, especially because Gen Z knows when to step in and when to not. It's like on one hand, we're talking about Tide Pods, and on the other hand, like, this is your movement.
I think it's just like we've always been in this like state of instability. Like I was born like almost immediately after 9/11, and then it was like my earliest childhood memories are like the recession, and then now, I mean, I graduated high school this year like into a pandemic. So I think we're just over it. I think that's like the general
Yeah, it's like y'all are super millennials, because like millennials feel lied to.
Right.
Which is like, I feel so lied to, but y'all just like were given the truth and just said, fuck this. And it is beautiful, so beautiful the way that your generation is able to carry and talk about important issues at an age where I never thought I'd hear, like as an educator, I never thought I'd hear, like walk into a high school and already hear conversations about respecting pronouns. And like, I went to high school 5 years ago. I graduated 5 years ago. So like the amount of change that has happened between our two generations, and it's just been a short amount of time, like y'all are legitimately like such a bright future if we don't kill this planet.
I think I credit it a lot actually to growing up on social media, because I remember like my first social media I got when I was like 12, and like my first introduction to social justice language, right? And like, you know, the idea of even like, for example, even like the example you gave of like respecting pronouns, all those things like were things that I was introduced to through social media. And then even like my access to poetry spaces early on was like through the internet, through social media. And so, you know, definitely it messed us up like a little bit, but it also taught us a lot. And I'm
Take the
grateful
good
for
with the
that.
bad. Like, have I seen like Generation Z people like actually talk to their friends outside of FaceTime? Maybe once or twice. But has Gen Z adjusted to a digital age faster than any other generation under quarantine? I was born with the internet and I'm still trying to get my shit together. But thank you so much. Like Samuel said, support the Anti-Police Terror Project. We are sitting at $310. That's great. That's great. That's great. Let's try to get to 500. Let's try to get to 500 by the end of the next poet. I don't know how we're going to do it. You know, I suggest y'all work it out for yourselves. I challenge somebody to just donate $190. Or round it up to 200. Why stop at 190 when you can do 200? You know, I'm going to manifest. You know, like those white girls who are like spiritually inept say, manifest. I'm going to manifest $200 for the Anti-Police Terror Project. So if
not you throwing the read in there slightly, just subtly. Out of pocket for no reason.
Look, you're from the Bay. I'm from Richmond. There's no such thing as in the pocket out here. It was just born in the ghetto and out the pocket. Yeah, we're going to manifest $200 for the Anti-Police Terror Project, $200 for Black Liberations, $200 for reparations, however you want to put it, however you need to contextualize it to rationalize why you need to be giving this money to this organization outside of because Black people, Black lives, Black safety fucking matters. Those are some good reasons because we are manifesting it for our personal spiritualities or whatever. But yeah, keep donating. You can donate via PayPal, paypal.me/Berkeley Slam, or via Venmo at Rich Oak Slam. But without further ado, we are going to keep it going. So on deck, we got our last poet of the night, Prophet, but give maximum love to the next poet coming up to the showcase. Give it up for Ashia.
Hello, everyone who's tuning in wherever you are. I hope that you are well, that your belly's fed, that you are someplace safe and warm and loved. I have a few poems to share. Thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure that you're donating. Remember that y'all need to stop putting the onus on Black people to dig us out of this collective mess, a mess that we didn't even make. We was minding our business and here we are. So make sure that you're donating so that you are proving how much you care and cherish and value Black life. So this first poem that I'm gonna read, I am and have been since I was like fucking like 3 years old. I don't even know if she was alive then, bro. She's like older than me. But I absolutely love Lisa Left Eye Lopez. Rest in peace, my girl. She was one of the most talented rappers, I think, to ever grace this planet. And I just love her so much. She's a Gemini like me. She's like, just like, you never really know what like kind of like was going on in her brain. She marched to the beat of her own drum. So this is an ode to Left Eye. Despite what Western astrology may have us believe, a Gemini is not a split personality. Rather, it is an embodiment of what it means to carry two souls in one chaotic vessel. Left Eye and I were born 5 days apart. Both of us have those big Black eyes where the iris swallows the pupil, our cool dark sea swallows what lurks underneath. When we speak with all of our teeth, demons erupt with faces reflected in our own self-loathing. The devils that lurk underneath my skin snigger at every attempt to quiet the labyrinthian rage compounded over centuries of exploited silence. In solitude, I lament the deaths of all the prose I could have uttered if I was brave enough to venture speech. I promise you, if I could isolate the nucleus of my pain, I would pluck the disease from its root and bury it. Even as Left Eye tore apart her soul and dared name the ghouls that sweated out her mind, someone clucked their tongue, chided, "Not like that." Even as she watched a house consumed in a conflagration of her own creation, she couldn't placate the parts of her that wanted to go down with the wreckage. A haint followed her footsteps wherever they landed. How does one reconcile the desire to remain and the urge to disappear completely? A penchant for flight burns deep in our shared spirits. I thank a Black woman's rage for ensuring my survival. And then I have two other little ones. So I'm originally from Denver, Colorado, Queen City of the Plains. One of the dopest places on this planet that is getting gentrified by our Black ass mayor. Someone please come get this fool. But Denver is a dope place. And this is a poem about how I still do not know how to swim. Growing up in Colorado, I never was a water-connected person. Besides, my bloodline lacks proclivity towards moisture, though these lungs know nothing but flood. The cold water will swallow you whole, and where will you be without this landlocked abandon? Grandma chides when I venture a new baptism and snaps on my swim cap tight enough to knock my perm-bruised edges loose. She says the chlorine clean makes it pure enough for plunge, knows Mississippi murky water for what it really hides, as we buy back our health, a purloined possession. This kind of thirst summons an ancient lust. We've been parched for centuries. In secret, I seek to swim, cloaked by whatever carried and buried my bloodline. I am still hot with no eagerness to splash and cool off, unduly capable of a different kind of flow. Years ago, in the wild edges of Missouri, my paternal grandfather throws my adolescent father into Smithville Lake, shouts, "Swim. If they come for you, you gotta know how to float. If they come for you, you better hold your goddamn breath." So this last one is also water themed. I don't know, I'm flowing today. It's Cancer season. The energy is all, I hate feelings. I'm a Gemini, I hate feelings. And I'm like I'm being forced to like reckon with all of my feelings in this time and it's not going well. So if you want to make me feel better, you should donate to the fund because that by extension will show me that you value my life and Black life. So this is the last poem that I'm going to do. It's called Do-Rag. Forward moving, we always turn back time, like ocean built of body, memory. The god of good grease paints follicles holy, and those waves, Lord, those ancient waves, facilitate a brother's boldest baptism, wipe me down, a litany of all the good that came to stay. The Atlantic remembers every part of Black anatomy, like a curse, a calling those cold waters shift and stagnate under a cotton polyester blend. They never got to lay claim to the water, but by God, how they damned, privatized, seized, overfished, extracted, deregulated, poisoned, commodified, pulled the cloth from the crease quick, like a run in a stocking, ripped the color clean from scalp. An instantaneous divide reminds what can be taken and what can be absolved. Later, a Black boy will fit his mouth around the word rage, hold it behind his tongue, ferment his brooding into savage. Watch him pull bones from the riverbed, casting wide mesh, drenched in cotton coagulations. Pray for summer rain to rinse all these trifling transgressions clean. Any flood breaks a bullet's back, but does not siphon the blood back into body. Baby, I can't help but enshrine you as a vengeful sea god, drowning in all that drip, all that sheen. Thank you. My Cash App is like attached to my name if you want to donate, but remember you should be donating to the Anti-Police Terror Project, and then donating to us if you got that, if you got it like that. Make sure that you're always valuing Black life, Black trans life matter, Black non-binary life matters, and thank y'all so much for tuning in and doing what y'all do.
Thank you, Ashia. Yeah, I really like that last poem. Like over the last couple weeks, I've been thinking about cutting my locks so I could get waves. Just so I could get waves. It has nothing to do.
Reggie, you would be too powerful though if you had waves. Like you're super powerful with your locks. I'm just saying, like it will just elevate. You gotta leave something for the rest of us.
I don't know if I can. I just want to be like, my dream is to be walking down the street in the middle of Oakland and to have like some random ass hella Black community member just rip my do-rag off and say wave check, and my shit is dipping. Everybody's like, oh shit.
Nah.
That's my dream. That's my dream. And I can't really do that with locks. And I honestly should have gotten waves at least once before I got locks, but I always had a fro for some reason. Not for some reason, I like long hair.
Exactly, you look good.
But if I ever cut these off, it's over. I got a do-rag on deck, preemptive buying.
I love that.
Thank you so much, Ashia. Like they said, definitely keep donating to the Anti-Police Terror Project. You can donate through Venmo at Rich Oak Slam, through PayPal, paypal.me/Berkeley Slam, and through Cash App, # Berkeley Slam. And we are currently sitting at $360. $360. Yeah, let's turn it around and get that 140 that we need in order to reach at least half of our goal for tonight. So lit. Lit. Somebody just donated $50. Lit. What? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Kenny, for your donation. But that was before the 360. Okay, so that brought us up to 360. Okay, I can math. I promise I can. It's not like I dropped out of college or anything. But on deck, we have donating the rest of the money that is necessary in order to end police brutality in our neighborhoods, which is all of it. We need all of your money. I'm not exaggerating here. All financial stability in the United States can be directly attributed to the economy that was started and maintained through the slave. through slave labor and the enslavement of African people. All of our wealth can either be tied to that or the modern day form of the private prison industrial complex, where incarcerated individuals provide goods and services to the United States for little to no money. And then things like cell phones and t-shirts and license plates end up in your pocket, or firefighters end up, or inmates end up fighting fires up here in California during wildfire season. It is really important. And the first step of this system is not incarceration, it's not slavery, it is the arrest itself. The criminalization of Black and Brown communities is where it starts. So it is important. It's not an optional thing. It is an important step of the movement, a necessary step of the movement. The first step of the movement is funding campaigns and organizations that are directly fighting against the criminalization of our people, of our neighborhoods. It is important. It's not important. It's necessary. It's imperative. It is the only way we are going to get free is if we start from the moment we were put in chains and shackles, and handcuffs are the new shackles. It is important that we start where people are being chained up, not do this reactive activism of fighting every time somebody gets locked up. It's time to start fighting before people get locked up, before people encounter the police. It's time to be proactive in our activism, and part of that is supporting organizations like the Anti-Police Terror Project. So I'm gonna challenge everybody to donate. We will keep these donations open until Sunday, until Saturday or Sunday night. So you can always keep going. We will be blasting this on social media. But I want to challenge somebody to drop $140 so we can reach $500 raised tonight for the Anti-Police Terror Project. So we have one more artist coming up tonight. Y'all know what to do. Show your love and support, and give maximum love for our last performer of the night. Give it up for Prophet. You're muted.
My bad, y'all. I had to drink a fat ass sip of water. Hello, everybody. I am Prophet, and I will be doing a poem that is more than a few years old, actually. And I was going to do a different poem, but tomorrow is the 3-year anniversary of my little brother's death. So I figured that this poem is very appropriate given like what has been going on since George Floyd's death and all the centuries that preceded it. Can you hear me over these yappy ass dogs near me?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, cool. Do you hear the dogs?
We do hear the dogs, but we can hear you as well.
Okay, perfect. Southern trees bear strange fruit, blood on the leaves and blood at the root. Black bodies swinging in the southern breeze. Strange fruit hanging from the poplar trees. In my youth, I'd smell the sweet scent of strange fruits and gain the truths of a troubled world by conclusions I came to. Had pains loose and pulsating, making days green in my brain stew. But when I came to, I raged through a school where they mockingly hang noose. And I was left to wonder, What I thought was a great school under an aged roof had housed pranks of fools that ain't cool. Yet I prayed hard that it ain't true. But I was wrong, because hate moved through centuries and spread seeds that gave proof that hate's roots haven't been dug up. We're regrowing that same fruit. The seed spreads with every gunshot. It's planted when bullets and flesh fuse. It's watered with the blood of martyrs, making bodies rot into a fresh fruit. Death is stressful as it is, yet when they expose my closest friend whose soul went blowing in the wind as fruit that's grown by older men, it's like my neighborhood's a garden, but it's more like a grassless jungle where they starve us of all resources to get out while they prepare us for the harvest. They used to be a ghost of colorless dark nights of terror from a demonic brotherhood that birthed a nation made in error. But now they look more like myself. And with this verse, I write to self. I'm facing darkness in the dawn. I might as well just fight myself. My cries of help just go unnoticed. No one cares about my pleas. I'll be another body rotting, slowly swinging in the breeze, singing pastoral scene of the gallant South, the bulging eyes and the twisted mouth, scent of magnolias, sweet and fresh, then the sudden smell of burning flesh. Y'all smell that? That's the decay of a friend whose passion led to a bashing. Stoned with graphic memories of the past, I'm left to pick up his ashes. It's tragic. Let me ask this before raising my black fist. What the fuck are you accomplishing? By causing this fruit to be stacked, shipped, and then packaged in different caskets, we've all seen this bitter harvest. Pain is surreal, but our words are not said. I've had too many friends that were well grounded before they dropped dead. I grew up on the south side of Richmond, where many are born, live, and die on the same street, but my roots grow deeper than any spring, because that street I repped so hard never claimed me. I look at my community and realize that we've yet to see the worst of the times. I feel my generation's lost because all we've ever worshipped was signs. And while we're picking each other off, it's like we strengthen the tree, where branches of feds keep us hanging in poverty. But I swear we're too conflicted to leave. But now we put it on ourselves, and our home turf is rich in hatred. We cultivate the land to grow it. Pray that strays hit when we spray shit. First we gut and eviscerate it, then we chill and refrigerate it. Dissecting this kind of fruit, we refuse to commiserate it. Pitiless, we beat the popes of each other till we're committed to a basic street education where unity is acidic. We're pitted against the odds, yet we pitted against the odds, yet we swing freely like savages in the trees. But I challenge you, think twice about your actions before planting another seed. Because here is a fruit for the crows to pluck, for the rain to gather, for the wind to suck, for the sun to rise, for the trees to dry. And bitter cry.
Thank you, Prophet. I see your Venmo.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me, Prophet?
What'd you say, Reggie? I think my headphones just cut out on me.
Oh shit. I said I see your Venmo. Your Venmo is MC Prophet, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so you can support Prophet at MC Prophet. You can also, which I also like, not even asking. I'm just gonna tell you to do it because like apparently asking is hard. And people don't.
Can I do it? Because I'm kind of salty. I want to kind of like put my foot up certain rectums. You feel me? So
I'm the host. People have to like me.
Oh, for sure. And yeah, like right now, I'm finna be like Jesus turning the money changers in the temple's tables over, because yeah, I'm definitely not feeling how an organization that is as important and as radical as APTP is not being supported.
like, y'all don't understand, man. Like, they've been around since like the Oscar Grant protest. They've been around for the Trayvon Martin and the Ferguson protests. Like, APTP has been around for a long time, putting in a lot of real work, a lot of very important groundwork, and have continued to do that for so long that, you know, if someone is established and been around a while, people act like, oh, like, yeah, they've been around forever. They'll always be around. But not if you don't support them, not if you don't help their growth. And right now, they really need that support because they doing a lot of the work that a lot of us are too uncomfortable to do. So, like, open up your hearts and your wallets because it's important that you do both. That's it.
Thank you. Yes, it's important that you not only open up your hearts, but open up your wallets, because open hearts never got niggas out of jail. Open hearts never protested police brutality, never organized the protest. It was all an open wallet. We need funding in order to do the work. You have to understand, the United States Police is the most well-funded and heavily armed American gang on the planet. You cannot address that problem without some kind of financial backing. The reason the police are so powerful, the reason the police are so militarized, the reason the police are so here in our communities, in our community resources are not here, is because of funding. When 70% of Oakland's police goes to, Oakland's budget goes to police, there is no money for our schools. There is no money for resistance. Now it has to come from us. So it is really important that we donate. Y'all have till Sunday to raise the 1,000 to help us raise.
I never got weed.
Did someone say? Maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe I'm just hearing things. You know, it's been a wild week. But yeah, we're gonna keep our donation channels open until Sunday. So definitely challenge each and every one of you to donate now, tomorrow, the next day, and the next day. If you cannot donate, share it with somebody that you know that can. I understand not everybody's financial situation is okay. You know, sometimes I be broke as hell. I've been broke as hell before, not able to donate. But if you can't donate, you always have a circle and a network. So if you can't give, put this on the radar of someone who can. So yeah, that has been our showcase. I want to thank every single person who touched this mic tonight. I want to thank our features, Samuel, for that amazing set. Thank you. Yeah, thank you to all of our patrons. Hold on, let me. Thank you to all of our patrons. If you would like to see more events like this, you can support us on patreon.com/richoakevents, anywhere from $2 a month to $100 a month. We are currently doing a Patreon campaign where if we get 30 donors, we will be able to let all of our performers into our in-person events for free. We are currently sitting at 29, so it only takes one more person to get our events free for performers. But yeah, I would like to give a special shout out.
You want me to read them?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So shout out to Renee Edmonds, Emily Chow, Kalalali, and then shout out to Nakia Williams and Jessica Kozakic, who sponsor our workshops. And then special shout out to Sarah O'Connell and Alice Grimm, who sponsor the Alan Bluford Center for Justice. They donate $100 a month to support the Alan Bluford Center. All of that money goes directly to the center.
Yes. So thank you so much to all of our Patreon supporters. Continue supporting us on Patreon. And on Patreon, continue sending in your donations. We will have another fundraiser next week. Another amazing showcase. So stay tuned.
Oakland Slam and Berkeley Slam.
Yeah, it'll be for Oakland Slam and Berkeley Slam. We'll be doing a joint fundraiser. So definitely check us out next Tuesday and next Wednesday. And
Saturday.
And this Saturday we do have the Alchemy open mic on Instagram. So you can definitely stay with us, check in, tap in, and we will see you later.